on, guys? I'm taking a look at another gun from my collection. This is the newest gun that I got, and it is an Israeli Galil. This is a Israeli design. It's based on the Finnish RK62, which was based on the Soviet AK-47. So it's really similar to the AK-47 design, but it has a lot of improvements that were taken from the Finnish RK62 and some improvements that the Israelis added to the rifle. The Israelis used to use the FAL, and they used that during the 6-Day War with Egypt, but they were having problems. That rifle wasn't really suited for their environment in the arid desert and all the sand and everything, and so a lot of the people in the field were picking up AK-47s because they were more reliable. So the Israelis, after that, they decided to design their own weapon, and it's got a lot of different parts from different weapons. They all have the folding stock, and this is similar to the folding stock on the FNFAL paratrooper, except that stock was made out of aluminum, and this is made out of tubular steel, and it's really heavy duty, and it locks up really firmly. It's a really nice stock, and it has a really nice cheek weld too for folding stock, and the stock is a little bit longer than the Warsaw Pact length AK stocks. It's about 1.5 inches longer, so it's more closer to a NATO length stock. They have their own pistol grip design that's really great. It's a huge pistol grip. I mean, I can fit 4 fingers on there, and I have pretty fat hands. It's got a flare at the bottom so you don't fall off, and it's a really comfortable grip. The magazine release is a little bit different than the AK. It's got this piece here that protects it from getting hit accidentally, but you can reach up there with your finger, you know, and switch the mags out pretty easily. The receiver is a really heavy duty milled receiver, and you can see on mine here I've got the Hebrew selector markings. That's pretty cool. Not everybody has that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. The charging handle is an upswept design, so it's got the charging handle swept up so that you can charge it with the left hand or the right hand on top of the rifle. Sort of an improvement. The rear sights are mounted on the top dust cover, and they're rear diopter sights. So there's two different rear peep sights, one for 300 meters and one for 500 meters, and it also has the flip up night sights that are set for combat. The tritium inserts are missing from these, so they don't work, but you can order some of those. They still make them. But so it's got rear flip up night sights. You can see the takedown lever if you're familiar with AKs. This is extended, and that's to help hold the top cover in place and maintain zero. You know, if you clean the rifle and take the top cover off. Then up here it's got a Palmer 2-piece handguard, and it's a really fat handguard, but you know, it's really comfortable and it gets the job done. And the gas tube is a straight design. It doesn't have the crimping in it that an AK does. This is a AR model, which has a 18-inch barrel, bayonet lug. The ARM model would have a bipod mount and a wooden handguard. That's the Galil ARM, but this is a Galil AR. The front sight is really cool. It's got the flip up night sights as well, you know, where you can get tritium inserts for it. It's a hooded sight, and it's elevation and windage adjustable. You can see the screw right there. There's 2 sets of opposing screws, so it's adjustable in the field for windage and elevation. Like I said, 18-inch barrel, and this is the grenade launching muzzle brake. I don't know if it's a flash suppressor or muzzle brake, I'm not really sure. But I'll flip it over so you can take a look at the other side. You can see here the receiver's milled for a lightning cut, and then it's got some Hebrew markings on there. You can see the 5.56. This is chambered in 5.56, and I've got the Hebrew selector markings, and it's also got the selector on the right hand side, and then this is the logo for the IDF, Israeli Defense Force. So really cool rifle. This receiver was made by Ohio Rapid Fire, and the gun was assembled by Troy Sellers from Inrange, and he did a really great job fitting everything on the rifle, and he finished it in a KG gunkote finish, which is my favorite. It's my favorite firearms finish. I think it really matches the original look. These rifles were made, he only made 77 of these as a special for members of the AK Forum, and so I picked this up used, but it was pretty much unfired. And I got a bunch of magazines for it. There's two main types of magazines. This is the polymer style, and these are made by Oralite, and they're really lightweight, and they hold 35 rounds. It's got a metal reinforced locking tab and everything, but these work great. And I also have the steel magazines, and these are great too. They also hold 35 rounds, but they're pretty heavy duty steel mags. I'm not sure though if these are Israeli or South African. The South Africans have a rifle called the R4, which is based on the Galil. It's very similar in design, and they use, you know, the Israelis sold them the parts or the machinery to make them. So I'm not sure if these are South African or Israeli magazines. The rifle shoots really great. I mean, fully loaded, this thing's almost I don't know. They say it's like 8.7 pounds, but I think fully loaded it's almost closer to 10 pounds when you're all loaded down, and you're just firing a little 5.56 round, you know, 223. So the felt recoil is really minimal, and the gun is really stout. The milled receiver and everything. I mean, this thing runs like a dreidel. It's great. The only problem really is your brass. I've got a couple of rounds here that I retrieved, that I fired, and it definitely dents up your brass. And the great thing about it is it's an AK variant, so you don't have to shoot brass, you can shoot steel. But I was at the indoor range, and they make you use brass there. So, but it really screws up your brass if you wanted to reload this stuff. I don't know how possible that would be. The extractor is really violent, and it really does a number on your brass. But other than that, it's a great rifle. I don't have any complaints. I've been really impressed with the Troy Sellers gunsmithing work. I don't know if I mentioned it. The barrel and the receiver are U.S. made, and the barrel is made by Green Mountain, and it's got a 1 in 7 twist, so it'll stabilize up to 77 grain, or you know, if you want to fire 62 grain, you know, green tip or anything like that, it'll be fine. I just took it out to the range and put 100 rounds to it, just to, you know, make sure it worked and try everything out. But all in all, I'm really happy about it. I just ordered a sling from Zahal. I think it's Zahal.com. They sell a bunch of Israeli stuff, and you can order the slings from there. So this is a really cool rifle, and if you're thinking about picking one up, I say pick one up, because the parts kits are getting really expensive. The receivers are really expensive. If you see a Galil, just get it if you're thinking about it, because they're going to get harder and harder to get. The original pre-ban IMI imports and IWI and stuff like that, Desert Research imported some too. Those are through the roof, like $3,000. Even in the 80s, they were $1,200 when they first imported them, and you could get an AR for $300 or $400 back then. So they've always been really expensive guns. So, you know, I say if you find one and you're thinking about it, pick it up, even if it's a Century. arms. You know, they're not going to be as nice as this build, but you know, a little bit of work, or maybe you send it off to a reputable gunsmith and they can make it into a great rifle that it should be. Alright, if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.